Alright, Guido, today we're going to make a meat sauce. So we're going to start with about a pound of sausage and a pound of lean ground beef. You can also use veal if you like, but the idea is to have pork and veal or beef. So we'll start with our sofrito, which is essentially going to be some celery, some carrots, some onion, and couple of small cloves of garlic. So if you want to chop these by hand, you can. I like to have them fine so that they start to really disintegrate and build a lot of flavor. So we're just going to put this in here and pulse it till it's down to a fine paste. Okay, so our vegetables are all ground up nicely. We're going to let the pan heat up with a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. In the meantime, we're going to get the meat ready. So I like to use sausage and beef. So the sausages, I simply just cut them with a sharp knife and just take them out of their casing. Okay, this should be pretty easy and straightforward. And then what you can do is you can cut it up a little bit or just peel it apart into strips. It'll cook faster and a little more evenly. And then with the meat, I do the same sort of thing just to help it along. So I just take my knife, cut it into small pieces. Again, this just helps to cook it a little quicker, a little more evenly, so you're not struggling with it when it's in the pot. Okay, you don't have to season the sausages because they're full of salt and spices, and these are spicy sausages, so it has a lot of nice flavor. With the ground meat, once it's in there, we're going to just give it salt and pepper, and away we go. Okay, and then throw it in, like that sound. Scrape it all out. And like I said, if you wanted to cut it into chunks instead, you could certainly do that. I like to have it all blended down so it sort of cooks away and we get some really nice flavor out of it. Put a little bit of water in there, get it all up. And we'll let that go for about 7 or 8 minutes. Okay, so we're cooking at about a medium heat. We want the vegetables to cook, but we don't want anything to burn. And we're just going to add some salt and some pepper. And we're building flavors here, right? We're going to have a really nice, rich meat sauce. It takes time, but not that much. So you're going to really get a really rich, delicious meat sauce with very minimal time and effort. Okay, so we're going to salt. Give it a good generous amount of salt. This is about a pound of beef, so we want to salt it well, and some pepper as well. We'll put those in first, into the veggies. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit to medium-high now. And we're going to add the sausages as well. So now we're just going to stir this around and get the meat nicely cooked, nicely browned. And we'll be back. That'll take about another 10 minutes. So it's about 2 pounds of meat, right? A pound of sausage, a pound of ground meat. Obviously, this is for a big meal, probably 6 people. So if you're just a couple of people, a couple of sausages, a little bit of meat, half a pound, quarter pound of each. Just try and do the 50-50. That gives you a nice balance. So that's been about 5 minutes. You can see the meat's browning nicely. But we want to keep going until the liquid is all absorbed and burned off. So again, about a medium heat. If it starts boiling hard, just turn it down a bit. And I'll see you in about 5 minutes. Okay, so the water is almost all gone, all the liquid. So we're going to add the wine. It's about a half a cup. And you don't have to add the wine, just adds a little richness. It's fine without it as well. And we're just going to cook that off for about 5 minutes just to let all the alcohol evaporate. Then we're going to add the sauce. I'm using Italian passata, which is essentially crushed tomatoes, pureed. The alcohol is evaporated by now for sure. So we're going to add 2 of these bottles of Italian puree. And then I just add about a cup of water in each one. Give them a good shake so we can get all that good tomato sauce out of there. And this is going to cook down, so no need to worry about it. And we haven't seasoned the tomatoes yet, so let's give it a good bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and depending on the season, if you have some fresh basil, now is a great time to put it in. So let's just give this a good stir. You can see this is a large quantity of sauce. You can make a nice plate of pasta with this. You could even use it if you wanted to make a lasagna. You know, this is a perfect sauce for a lasagna. Layers and layers of meat sauce and cheese. Make yourself a nice lasagna with this. Okay, so we're gonna bring that to the boil, and then we're gonna turn it down to medium-low and let it simmer for 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, so it's just coming to the boil. You can see that. So we're gonna give it a good stir. Starting to smell good. I'm going to turn it down to medium-low and let it go for a good 30 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 40 minutes and you can see it's looking nice and rich. It smells amazing and we're ready to go. So we're going to cook some pasta, and then we'll put it all together and give you a taste. Well, give me a taste, and I'll let you know how it is. So the water's boiling. This is probably about 8 cups of water. You want a lot of water when you're cooking pasta, okay? Don't starve it. You want it a full big pot so the pasta cooks better. And don't be shy to put salt. It's a lot of water, put a lot of salt, because that's gonna affect the taste of the pasta. I'm putting 500 grams in, so the whole thing. And it goes. It says 10 minutes. We'll put the timer on for 10 minutes. And with pasta, as you probably know, you just want to stir it regularly so it doesn't stick. So we'll be back in 10 minutes and we'll taste it. Make sure when you strain the pasta, you strain it well, get all the water out. Otherwise it's going to pool in the bottom and it's not nice. So pasta's in our pot. We're going to add a bit of sauce, just a couple of scoops. Mix it all up. Okay, so see, I just lightly stirred the pasta in the pot with a little bit of sauce just to coat it. Now we're going to put a few scoops on top. And then, of course, you can put individually with each bowl that you serve a little bit of sauce on top. But nice presentation, you can take it to the table like that. Now just taste a little bit. Sauce. My spicy chili oil. A little Parmigiano. Squirt of extra virgin, extra delicious olive oil. Delicious. Try it, make it. Simple ingredients. Took a little more time than the other ones, but it's worth it. Enjoy.